Happy New Year. Tonight we're starting a new series, Cocktails from the Mad Men Era. Welcome to the Average Me channel and Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you are having a fantastic New Year's Eve. Maybe you're watching this later, but I'm recording this on New Year's Eve. And if you're not out celebrating, maybe you're spending the evening with me. So I've got something really neat that I'm going to be starting tonight and carrying on through the next, 6 weeks for Thirsty Thursdays. I came across this mixer and it actually goes with the Boston Shaker. But what is particularly cool about this is really retro. It goes back to the 1960s, and on the side it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cocktails. Classic cocktails from the Mad Men era. And I thought it would be so much fun to make these cocktails exactly according to the recipe on the side of this shaker. And it's really neat because on the side it shows a little line drawing of the picture, and then it goes through and it gives you the ingredients. And then it even on the shaker, it has portion sizes and up to 12 ounces. So you can actually measure in this shaker. I think this is such a cool thing. And it's going to be so much fun actually making cocktails according to this glass. So we are going to start with a classic 1960s whiskey sour. Pretty simple, straightforward drink. But you know, a lot of times if you go into a bar now and you order a whiskey sour, they're going to give you a whiskey and sour, meaning just shot of whiskey and sour mix, but that's not what a whiskey sour is. So tonight we are going to use Crown Royal. Now, if you were back in the 1960s, you might get Crown Royal, but more likely you might get something like, Canadian Club or Jim Beam or one of those kind of old school whiskeys. We're going to use Crown Royal. It was around in the 60s. Plain old sugar. Could we use simple syrup? We sure could, but the cocktail on the side of this shaker calls for real sugar, so that's what we're going to use. We're going to use lemon, and we're going to use, for garnish, orange. So I'm going to measure these. I am going to measure the orange. I probably shouldn't. I just want to kind of feel old school about this. And according to the measurement, we want 3/4 of an ounce of lemon. And I think we can get that just by using a half lemon. It should be pretty accurate. Now I just realized that my lemon squeezer is right off to the side. I got it out. I didn't bring it over. Give me just a minute. There it is. So the first thing we're going to do is squeeze that 3/4 of an ounce. Now I probably should just have some guts and do it right into the glass, but I want to make sure that we are following the directions, and I'm not sure how much juice we're going to get out of this particular lemon. But we should get roughly 3/4, and this is only giving me about a half an ounce. We're a little dry on this lemon. So what I'm going to do is, I have a second lemon here. I was using this for something else, that's why I only have half of a lemon. So we will put that aside, and we're going to cut ourselves another fresh lemon. And let's face it, that lemon juice is always better when it comes from a fresh piece of fruit rather than from a, pre-made juice in a container. And there is our 3/4 ounce. So I got ice in here, so I'm just going to, let's do it. We'll put it all in there. No, I'm going to put it in the shaker portion because I just realized I took the wrong half of my Boston Shaker. These won't match up at all. So once more, forgive me. It probably looked like nothing happened there, but I do have the bigger shaker now, so this will work. So we're going to put in our 3/4 ounce lemon juice. We're going to put in 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. Not a lot of sugar in this. There we go. 1/2 teaspoon. then 1.5 ounces of whiskey, which is going to be a shot. So rather than measure it out, let's get the good old-fashioned jigger. There we go. I'm sorry, this is so cool. I am just tickled to death doing it this way. And then we're going to shake it up. And I'll tell you, this glass does not get nearly as cold as when I do this with the stainless and stainless Boston Shaker. A lot of Boston Shaker kits come like this with the glass, but the only reason I did it today is because I wanted to use this old-fashioned glass to mix it. This is the one that has all the ingredients in it. So let's put it right in there, and then we're going to garnish it with an orange. Now there's lots of ways that we could garnish this with an orange. We could give it, you know, a fancy, put a whole orange wheel on there. I think that might be a little big for it. We can just drop an orange in. We could, you know, make the peel of the orange. I'm just gonna get a little squeeze and then drop that orange right in there. Boy, doesn't that look like a real classic cocktail? You drop this in front of someone and you're gonna feel like you're Larry Tate and Darren Stevens sitting at the bar. Make it a double Larry. Let's see how it tastes. Not bad. Now, I personally think I would add a little touch more sugar, but it's supposed to be a whiskey sour, not sweet. So it absolutely has the sour taste. Not a surprise that this is a pretty straightforward flavor, right? It's got the whiskey, it's got the lemon, that gives it the sour. It's got a little bit of sugar, just so, you know, it doesn't feel like you want to pucker when you drink it. And the orange is just here as a garnish, but you drop the orange in there, you get a little bit of that. Now that's different than if I would have put it on the edge of the glass, right? Same thing, when I bring it up, I would get the smell of the orange, and that does affect the flavor. By dropping the orange in the cocktail, I'm picking up a little more of that citrus. That is really good. It does. I don't know what it was like to sit at a bar in the 1960s, but I'd imagine this is a little bit what it would feel like. I probably wouldn't have a Hawaiian shirt on, right? Or they'd run me out of the place. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this. What's coming up? We have Whiskey Sour Manhattan Bacardi. I know Bacardi is just a brand of rum, but apparently Bacardi was a cocktail in the 60s as well. Daiquiri, Tom Collins, Martini, classic Martini, and a Gibson. So we're gonna go through every single one on this mixer, and I think it's gonna be an awful lot of fun. I hope that 2022 has been good for you. I hope that you're going to have an even better, fantastic 2023. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. Leave your comments down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe by clicking my face in the corner. And don't forget to ring that bell icon up above. That way you'll know when I post new videos. Thanks for joining me, everyone. And here's to a happy new year, a happy 2023.